Alright, this morning at 11:05 a.m., the mother of Kugan Anandan, who is right here, Indra Nalathambi, has lodged a police report against the hospital Surendran and the doctor who did the first post-mortem report, Dr. Abdul Karim. The full details of the report you will be able to see. It's very clearly stated here in this report. In this report, she has identified 8 major and significant differences between the first post-mortem report, the Karim report, and the second post-mortem report, the Prashant report. Okay, 8 major significant differences. She has also stated that she is shocked and surprised that the first pathologist was unable to come to a conclusive cause of death, whereas the second report, the Prashant report, clearly stated the cause of death. Now, very puzzling in both report, in the first report is that the first report states that he had made an examination of all the organs in the abdomen and found them to be normal. But the second postmortem clearly states that the organs in the abdomen were never examined. They remain inside there, and only the second postmortem doctor actually did the examination. So this seems to be, I will give you copies of the first postmortem also in a minute. And also the first postmortem says there were V-shaped marks on the back, and he calls it abrasions, whereas the second postmortem clearly states that these are burn marks. How is it that the pathologist missed the fact that these were burn marks? This is baffling to us. The first report says that the spleen, the limper, the spleen is normal. The second post-mortem report says that there were large areas of hemorrhage in the spleen, in the limper. Again, we are baffled. How is it that the first post-mortem missed the large areas of hemorrhage in the spleen? And these are significant differences, because large hemorrhaging in the spleen means blows by blunt trauma causing internal bleeding. Hemorrhage is internal bleeding. So the first post-mortem report seems to have completely missed this so-called internal bleeding in the spleen area, for example. Now, what Kugan's mother is asking is to investigate whether there was an attempt to cover up the real circumstances surrounding the death of her son. Why is it that the Surendran hospital and the first post-mortem report is of this nature? Was there a cover-up? This is not only something that the mother wants to know. This is something I think the entire Malaysian public wants to know, as can be seen from the media reports and public reaction to this. This is a question that needs to be answered in national interest. This is not just about Kugan's mother and Kugan. This is an issue of national interest now. We want answers, and we want a proper independent investigation as to why this thing happened, why the truth did not come. Why did the police try their very best to prevent us from having a second post-mortem? We had to fight for the second post-mortem. If they had nothing to hide, why did we have to hide for the second post-mortem? Why is it that the police initially said no foul play, water in the lungs, despite all the marks on the body? There seems to be a serious reluctance on the police to bring their men to book, to account, when they perpetrate this kind of abuses. Now, I will go to another very important area. Again, there has been reported in yesterday's media, Dr. Muhammad Norzi of Surendran Hospital, director, claiming that the mob had tampered with. I have a few answers to that. First answer, there is a clear video clip that has already been published online, which shows that there was no mob, that there was no tampering, that there was no barging in, that the family members and others were let in by the hospital attendant who called them in like this. There is a clear video clip, yet they are repeating this ridiculous lie again. Now, second thing is this. If it is true, as Dr. Norzi says, there were tampering in the body, remember that the first post-mortem was done after the so-called tampering, the following day. Should not the first post-mortem report then identify and state clearly, look, I found so many marks of injuries which were inflicted after that? Because clearly the tampering was done, if so there was so-called tampering, it was done after that. Any pathologist can distinguish wounds made before death and wounds made after death. If it is true there was tampering, why doesn't Dr. Abdul Karim's post-mortem report, which I have given to you, identify the so-called post-mortem injuries inflicted after that? There is not a single mark mentioned in his report stating that there were injuries after death. This shows it's a lie. Dr. Muhammad Norzi is lying to the public. It's a serious thing for the director of the hospital. Action should be taken against him also.
On the media statement given by Syed Hamid Alba, which said why we use Pati Karelan HQ to have the press conference. If Syed Hamid Alba willing to give us UMNO building office also, we are willing to use his office or his office to have this press statement. Why the reason? Because we got the report around 7 o'clock. Pukul 7 malam kita ada dapat daripada doktor. So we have no place. The mother don't have money. They are poor people. You want to book a hotel, you need $7,000, $5,000. So we voluntarily gave them our HQ office, PKL office, to hold the press conference. Di sini kita tak ada politik atau politize mana-mana isu. No. There is a date kematian. If we, as a member of parliament, we don't bring up, who else want to bring up this issue? Syed Hamid Alba? I don't think he will bring up. He will cover up. 80 kematian. Sampai hari ini mana ada charge orang?
Under the penal code, there is a provision where the doctor can be charged for giving false reporting. Yeah, he can be charged. Actually, this will be amounting to professional misconduct. Professional misconduct. He is also liable to be under the Medical Act 1971. Medical Act 1971, whereby the MMC must move into the picture now. If the MMC keeps quiet about this, then it is another sad aspect to our Malaysian state of affairs. I would like to stress here again, this is not an issue about one particular race, this is a Malaysian issue. Malaysian issue, today it can be your brothers, your sisters, we do not know.
One more thing, again, Datuk Bakri Zinin, CID director, yesterday said there will be no cover-up, he claimed, and he said that a short while ago they had charged 7 people. This is the B. Prabhakar case. Now, I want to tell Datuk Bakri, please don't distort the truth. He is claiming that the 7 people were charged for B. Prabhakar's case. That shows that the police are accountable. I am telling Datuk Bakri, don't distort the truth. I handled Prabhakar's case. I was his counsel. Kapar MP was with me taking up this case. So was the Teluk Intan MP. We campaigned hard. We pushed hard the police for over 2 to 3 weeks before the police even took it seriously and decided under public pressure in order to charge the 7. This is in the public record. This is in the public domain. It's a known fact that public pressure pushed the police. So don't come and pretend here that they on their own accord decided to charge 7 people for Prabhakar's case. They tried to keep it quiet. That's the reality. If I'm lying, charge me. It's in the public record. It's in the public domain.